Hi, welcome. In this video, you're going to see me again working with Jackson, his owner, on some service dog refresher training to help reverse some control issues that are happening related to Jackson's state of mind, with some, it's defined as some lunging behavior, where he's beginning to kind of edge out of the follower role a little bit. Now here I'm heading down to the local Walmart, and it's a smaller Walmart, and it's just near where I live. So I'm going to be meeting Jackson's owner there in just a minute, and the reason I'm doing this video is just as kind of a setup, just to help understand before I get into. You're going to see me actually working the method, just like on the prior video at the vet clinic. You're going to see me using my GoPro to take some video working with Jax inside the store. Okay, so here I'm just heading down now, but again, just a kind of refresher, just some things to kind of look for, some focal points that I'm focused on currently with Jax is, again, making sure that his state of mind is beginning to come into a really relaxed state. Again, some of the method that kind of ties into that that I'm working with is really doing a lot of the down position. You see me really working on that down position to get him to calm down, to settle into that before moving forward, before advancing. Because here's the thing to understand, right from the start. Again, one of the points that I keyed up on my last video, which I'm going to be working on this little training session, is what I mentioned to Jackson's owner, is right from the point of entering that parking lot, and even before before Jax gets out of the vehicle, is getting him to calm down. Okay, because here's the thing to understand, it's right from the beginning of wherever point that this interaction is happening for going into a helper role within a store. The process begins in a good or bad way, okay, right from that starting point of exiting the vehicle. So if a dog is already beginning to gain some control, and you're already dog's mind's already starting to push out even a little bit, it's going to escalate, okay? And it's just better to start it. The expectation needs to be established right away, okay? That's the thing. Let's understand, it's about relationship. So no different than, say, dealing with a child. I mean, if you're leaving to go to the Walmart, to go to the toy department, and before you can get in the car, when you leave your home and the kid's starting to kick up a little bit, you gotta lay the ground rules before we even get into that store. Otherwise, you already know you're gonna have trouble. Okay, you're gonna have problems. So you have to get that foundation going right away. So this is the point of, even before a dog exits the vehicle. And how do you do that? What language does that translate into through the method? Well, it's the down position, and really looking at, again, the focus of this kind of refresher is really making sure you're not just looking at a position. Okay, the down position is a great position to work off of, because it does represent, of working towards that state of mind. But you have to go beyond just the position and make sure you're achieving the state of mind. Okay, so the position itself is not the main focal point. Okay, that's kind of like at the physical level, that's what you're achieving, or that's what you're working off of at the physical level is that position representative of achieving that state of mind. But it's actually the state of mind itself, making sure it follows it, aligns that way. So it's a position, then the state of mind has to be achieved. Okay, you want to make sure you're actually getting the state of mind happening, and then going from that point forward. Okay, so very, very important that you just don't look at positions themselves as the ultimate. You have to actually be focused on the state of mind itself, making sure that is actually occurring. So, but that's what I'm going to be focused on here. I'm just pulling into the Walmart here now. I'm going to wait on Jax's owner here, and but again, switching or moving from just a position to actually looking at making sure you're achieving that state of mind. Okay, that's very important, and that's a tricky thing, because especially when people first start into training, it's more position based, and honestly a lot of people don't even get out of that. A lot of trainers, and this is the problem in the dog training world, it's just about response. Okay, as long as they're not actually not really focused on the state of mind, looking at these issues of control. Because again, when a dog is holding a level of control, okay, and even though they're going into a position, you can see the tension, the fixation levels, see how the mind is just jumping and pushing forward, and you see that. Okay, it's you have to actually make sure that everything is coming together properly, it's aligning properly. So that's going to be the focus here. Is again, so the lunging behavior represents a jumping forward of the mind, state of mind of the dog. So again, here we're going to be focused on really working a lot off of the down position. So here at the Walmart, the thing to look for in the GoPro, because again, I'm not really talking, that's why I'm doing this video, I'm not talking, going through it the way I am now, but when you see the video, look for me doing a lot of downs, look at me looking really, and you'll see that too, if you really pay attention. Ask yourself the question, as you watch Jax doing this, what state of mind is he in? And the thing to look for too, it's very interesting, when you get that right state of mind, because that was happening in the last video, if you go back and watch it at the vet clinic, you get a really good state of mind from the down, and then the dog comes up into the sit, you'll see a lot, and I mentioned in the last video, a lot calmer. Okay, the dog is really, but the problem is if you just work off sits, okay, if you just do those sits like that, it's really difficult to get that state of mind without the downs. So if you're struggling, you're having a dog that's really you have control issues, really hammer those downs. Get those downs happening through the entire sequence. Typically when I'm starting, and this is an important point, when I'm starting the process, I'll kind of relax that criteria based on the level of control. Okay, so there's a reason why that, there's variances. Because if you're dealing with a dog that has a tremendous amount of control and a high level of challenge, and you try to do too many of those downs, you're going to that dog's going to launch into high challenge. It can be an extreme problem because it's too soon. But when you get to this type of situation, okay, where you've achieved that level of control, you really create a high level relational change, and the dog is starting to regress back a little bit, then this is where the downs are very helpful in this situation to really get that back to where it needs to be. Okay, so there are some variances here as you do this, but again, it's really understanding the formula. Okay, there's like a baseline formula that comes through experience too. You really got to be working this and working it, because sometimes if I work off these variances, and people sometimes have a hard time with it because they don't understand, okay, where do you skip a step or where do you add a step? But it comes to understanding what you're going for. So again, I'm gonna switch cameras. Al's or Jax's owner Al, he's just shown up, and gonna get started on the GoPro, so you'll get some good views here of what's going on.